Welcome to the Suckfest, assholes. We're back here at the Try You channel, promoting tryu.com. Music, books, movies, where you list your top 10 favorites of all time and connect with other users that way. I should say Try You, where we don't give a
shit or fuck
what you had for dinner, lunch, breakfast, snack.
We really like to eliminate politics as well.
Who you fingered in high school. Although I'd be a little more interested in who you fingered in high school than what you had for dinner. But we're going to talk about our number 8 movie on the list of our top 10 movies of all time. And my 10th was, to recap, In Bruges. 9 was V for Vendetta. Number 8, I have Dead Man, a Jim Jarmusch film starring Johnny Depp from 1995. And I told you that I just stumbled upon this movie more or less by chance. My dad had watched it when he had a dish satellite, and he only watched it because Neil Young, in the synopsis, he was credited with the score, which he did a real good job with. And he doesn't tell me a whole lot about movies. He's told me everything I know about music pretty much, but movies he doesn't really talk about a whole lot. So when he says it, I tend to think it's going to be good. And he said, "You got to watch that," and I did. And of course, I was blown away. And Jim Jarmusch is one of my favorite directors, and I could have put Ghost Dog with Forrest Whitaker in my top 10 easily. But Dead Man was my first exposure. I love the movie. I think it's genre-defying. Johnny Depp plays an incarnation of William Blake, and his sidekick, American Indian named Nobody, ends up telling him, you write with the gun instead of the pen now. It's a great movie, unlike anything else I've ever seen before.
From the first scene on the train and the wardrobes, the outfits, I just knew I was going to love it, and the music. It all brought me in, and I didn't even watch it until around 2010 is when somebody recommended it to me, and I had already seen Coffee and Cigarettes at that point. That somebody gave me the DVD to watch, and that's how I got turned on to Jim Jarmusch as a director. Coffee and Cigarettes, so we spoke about the scene with Bill Murray and RZA and Jizza, is one of my favorite scenes, a comedy scene in all of cinema, really. I love it. Hilarious. It's great. One of Bill Murray's best, and that's hard to do because he's so good in everything. And then the Tesla machine with the white stripes was real cool. The whole thing is really great. I mean, Steve Coogan, who's a great actor that way, makes an ass of himself like he does in a lot of his films. Self-deprecating, and it's really good in that. And one of my first exposures to him too, and he's one of my favorite comedic actors, or just actor in general. I think he's really good. I won't go into the plot too much. It's really, you can't do it justice talking about it. You have to see it. It is shot in black and white, which is unusual, but for a film from '95, and it just fits. The way they do it is great. I don't know back then if I never really shied away from black and white films, but I never gravitate towards them either. But this one, just everything about it works for me. The cinematography, the dialogue. Johnny Depp, killer. Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite role by him, probably that or Fear and Loathing, which is also in my top 10. The reference to William Blake is just crazy. If you've gotten into any William Blake, it's really interesting stuff. Aldous Huxley had mentioned him so much that I'd read a few, and I told The Marriage of Heaven and Hell is a really good poem by William Blake to look into. I think it's I'll definitely put that on my shelf. Yeah, there's just so much you can learn from directors like this. The references they make. You said Patterson, and a movie about poetry, which I'm not too much. I don't know a lot about poetry. I like Bukowski's poetry a ton. Yeah. But I don't know too many others. I can't even think of, there's a poet from the Dharma Bums, Gary Snyder. I like his stuff, and Ginsberg, of course. He's one of the guys that hangs out with Kerouac in the Dharma Bums. His name in the book's Jaffe Ryder, and his real name's Gary. The one that he's the hero of the book. Yeah, his real name's Gary Snyder. He's a Buddhist poet. Yeah, that's cool. I love that book. That's great. I'm getting off a little bit of the movie, but I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than you should watch it if you haven't. Highly recommended. Oh yeah, anything in my top 10 for me, it's the biggest endorsement I can give. Same. I can't. Yeah, there's not too many movies I like better than this, but that's kind of self-evident, I guess. I put it in my top 10.
and you really have to narrow down when you choose your top 10, and going through them again really makes me, and I haven't seen this movie in quite some time, maybe almost a decade. It's one of those I want to dedicate time, be able to really watch and think about, but I'd say it's a testament to how much it struck me, because I still remember a lot of it. Most movies are so forgettable, even the ones I like pretty well, but this one just kind of sticks with you, and that's a sign of a good film.
It's real cool and unique.
Really unique, yeah, very, very unique. But we can move on to yours.
Yeah, so my 10 was Natural Born Killers, Oliver Stone. That one came out in '95, and then number 9 for me was The Maltese Falcon, which was a great older movie. Humphrey Bogart.
I need to watch that one.
And then number 8 for me is Apocalypse Now. That's just a powerful heavyweight film that I've seen a lot of times. Started watching in high school, and I don't even know how that got recommended to me, other than it was just such a popular movie.
I think my same friend that liked Clockwork Orange was into Apocalypse Now.
That sounds like that could have been the same for me too. I had it on VHS tape that somebody gave me, and I watched it several times. It's Francis Ford Coppola director. It's got Martin Sheen, Marlon Brando, Dennis Hopper, Lawrence Fishburne,
Pauly Shore,
Robert Duvall,
Pauly Shore.
He might have known them guys.
He might be in it, for all I know. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, so it came out in '79 and won an Academy Award for cinematography. It's got great. All the shots are great. It takes place in 1970, Vietnam, Cambodia.
Yeah.
And Marlon Brando, I had always heard about him, when I was in high school, about how great of an actor he was. But at that point in time, I hadn't seen any of his movies.
I think he was my first exposure to him.
So then when I saw that, that powerful performance of him with the malaria or whatever disease he was suffering from in the jungle, and talking about the horror and, all the cliches you hear now from the quotable one-liners from that movie.
In film class, you guys can all tell how educated I am, I'm sure. They showed On the Waterfront, and he's just outstanding in that. Probably everything. Well, of course, The Godfather. But what sticks out to me about Apocalypse Now is not necessarily Vietnam, which it does, but it's the great adaptation of Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad.
And I hadn't even read that.
It's crazy how good they do a job. And I think creatively, what a wonderful concept to put Heart of Darkness in Vietnam, because where all morals and everything goes out the window. The other thing, you always hear the quote, I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And recently I've been thinking about trying to use napalm for my external anal itching.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where to get a hold of it. I was going to use that or a fork. And probably the fork's going to be the more affordable choice, but we won't talk about that too much. But that's napalm and Apocalypse Now. That's the last time I thought about that movie, but I do need to watch it again. I will say I should watch it again soon.
Yeah, since right now during COVID it's so cost effective to rent out a theater, I'd like to watch it on a big screen, because I've never seen it on a big screen.
Probably not the best time for this kind of question, but I wonder if can you pick whatever film? Or do they would have to have it?
That's something we'll just
have to look into that.
It'd be worth, even Dead Man would be cool to watch on the big screen, because I hadn't seen that.
Anything in my top 10. I did get to see Clockwork Orange at studio a movie theater in Columbus.
Oh, now you're skipping ahead.
Yeah, I know. I gotta quit. But I did see a few of them I've seen on the big screen, and not many yet. Pulp Fiction I did see when it came out on the big screen, and Royal Tenenbaums. I better shut up. But yeah, it's a different experience seeing it in the theater. It really is.
Yeah. I remember when we went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood not that long ago, how cool that was on the big screen.
Oh, that was a great time.
And Hateful Eight I got to see on the big screen.
I did. All Tarantino. I actually would take off work when Tarantino's come out and make sure I see it.
At least 2 days off work.
Yeah, him, Paul Thomas Anderson.
There Will Be Blood we saw together on the big screen.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I left out about Dead Man. I think just watch it. Come to try you. Post your 10. If there's 3 or 4 on either of our lists that you like, I would, and there's some you haven't seen, I'd highly suggest checking them out. We'd like to see you on there, and
Music, books, movies.
Yeah, and see what you guys got. And if you have any suggestions, what I could use other than napalm, think maybe a Brillo pad. But come on there. We really don't want that, but you can say who you fingered. We will allow that, or who fingered you. A lot of my fingerings, I regret being fingered that hard.
It builds character.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It does build character, but it could be a problem. It could have something to do with all this itching I'm experiencing. But we'll see you next time. We'll be back with number 7. I know you can't wait.
I can't wait.
Okay.